Hey everybody, welcome to the 3R show, the right, the wrong, and the random. I'm your host, Robyn Browning, and as you know, the 3R show is dedicated to talking about all things right, wrong, and random in the world of basketball. Now today is a special show. We will not get a lot into the world of basketball because there are more pressing issues in the world, especially with this show coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. You all may know what has happened in the in the county in a town called Ferguson. Now I grew up not too far from Ferguson, the next town over, Cool Valley. So this topic is very important to me. And I have as my guest right now is State Representative Michael Butler joining me. Thank you, Michael. State Representative. I should be more formal. Thank you,
No,
Representative Butler.
Robyn, you can call me Michael. I'm so I have to do whatever you say.
Okay. Now, Representative Butler, today has been a very busy day when it comes to the killing of Michael Brown and what has gone on since then. This is day 5 since he was killed by a police officer in Ferguson. And we've had the local, state, and federal leaders all do press conferences today. Can you tell us, you're on the ground, tell us quickly what has gone on and what can we get from that?
So, what has gone on is there's a separation of the solution from two different generations. There's a generational shift been happening here in St. Louis in leadership for a while, but this is the activist generational shift. The youth are doing all the work. The youth are the ones protesting. They're the ones with the major marches at night. They're the ones making the taglines and they got the real message. They're the ones with the passion, the anger. A lot of the older politicians and clergy members and community leaders, now they're doing important work behind the scenes trying to get actual justice for Mike Brown. And they're doing a lot of work that's not being shown on TV. But they're also, their public persona is mostly just conferences and town hall meetings and things that sort and trying to get more people involved. So everyone's doing their part. As of right now, I'm on the way to a youth council leaders meeting to forward our effort with the Don't Shoot hashtag that we've been posting videos and photos of and helping to get the awareness nationally. And we've been pretty successful at it. So, but that was our piece. Everyone's doing their part, and luckily, as of right now, no one's really crossing lines. This is great. We're covering it all grounds.
Oh, that's great. Now tell me, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of talk on Twitter. People are pretty upset with President Obama not doing more. But I think people don't really understand his role as president in this situation. Can you give us a quick civics lesson on how government intervention works?
That's true. So this is a local issue. This is purely a local issue. I'm a state representative. I have no direct power in getting justice for Mike Brown. So the only true political solution right now is to recall the mayor and pick a new police chief because the mayor appoints the chief in Ferguson and get that police chief to give us information, get that mayor to then have fired the old police chief, bring a new one in, and to bring the police officer that's under the new police chief to justice. So it's a local issue. What President Obama can do, though, is put influence and show his support for justice for Mike Brown. What he can do is possibly be on ground zero, come in and show his overwhelming support for not just for Mike Brown, but for Trayvon Martin, for Kerry Ball, who was killed by 2 police officers in the city of St. Louis just last summer.
Yes.
For the countless numbers of black men who have been harassed by police officers in Ferguson, in the St. Louis area, and across this country. They just want what we want the president to do is just show up. And he has an initiative for black men. He showed his support for black men and for the black community before with his White House initiative. Let's put that to action. Let's do a little more just rhetoric. And I share a little frustration. I don't understand on it.
Okay, everybody, we're having a little bit. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but what Representative Butler is saying that the youth and the movement would like to have the Ferguson Police Department, the Ferguson mayor recalled, and also the Ferguson chief of police also to that he also needs to go to be fired and be
Yes.
relinquished of his duties. So just to get that going together, and that the whole issue of Ferguson is a local matter first, and we must get that done before federal intervention comes in. But we would like to see President Obama's presence here to stand beside all of the young black men in St. Louis, and just solidarity across the country. So, before you go, what are some things that we can do to help in this situation, to help those who are in
Yes, you
Ferguson?
got me.
What are some things that we can do? How do we donate money, funds, or time, energy? What can we do? And I think we have lost him, everybody. But there are many organizations that are out there in which you all can donate to, especially to Michael Brown's family. They do have a trust set up at Fifth Third Bank, in St. Louis, Missouri. You can look that up and ask for the Michael Brown Fund, and your money will go toward there. Also, Better Family Life is collecting water and any snacks, whatever you want to donate, as people protest every day outside of Ferguson City Hall, and as well protesting at the hot zone that you have been seeing on national and world news, which is at the corner or at the corner of West Florissant and Highmont. So if you can do that, if anything, that would be great. I thank Representative Butler. Sorry we had all those technical difficulties, but I hope it doesn't you really all heard his message that it is the youth. Now, I'm still going to want to get into that, and this being the youth movement. Now, if we want to get back to sports and athletes, what is really missing around here are politically active, socially active athletes that have joined the cause. I just recently looked on Twitter, and we are seeing some pictures and of at least pictures coming from athletes. Kevin Durant tweeted out a picture in support of Michael Brown and the protests going on here. So that's very good, and that he sees what's going on and is not lost on him. But there still is that need for somebody to step up. We've seen moments of it, but to have a real movement amongst some athletes, that has been on the decline for at least 30 years now. I can name politically active athletes from the past like it's nothing. Muhammad Ali, Billie Jean King, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jim Brown, John Carlos, Tommy Smith, Jackie Robinson, Hank Aaron, Arthur Ashe, and the list goes on. Now, as far as that translating into the times now, no one has really sacrificed, and that is what's the key. When athletes come into to become professional athletes, the first thing that they need to do is establish their brand, and this all started with Michael Jordan. So if you want people to know you and like you after you finish playing basketball, that you need to have a nice brand, and they trust you and they want to be around you. So you can't possibly ruin that with a activist attitude or activist character. So we've been missing out on that. But it seems like it's coming back around some. And it started with Trayvon Martin. We did have the Miami Heat came and took a photo and did their hoodies and stood with Trayvon Martin and his family. And we also had a moment too in which, as you all may know, with Donald Sterling and his racist comments, that his whole Clippers team, the players were willing to walk off and not play a game, and also other people were too, including LeBron James, who also led that in a way in which he said he would not want to play as long as that Donald Sterling was the owner of a team. So we are seeing that, but I still think that they are moments, and the moments need to become movements, and there has to be more sacrifice, not only by them but by us regular citizens every day. And you know what? They are regular everyday citizens too. Before they are basketball players, they are citizens of the United States of America. And when you see something that is wrong and you feel like that it is wrong as a citizen, in which your freedom and rights are being taken, I think as a citizen that should stand first before you as a professional athlete. Now, that's a lot to ask, but to get that, these players are young. Young people look up to them, admire them for what they do. To have them at least come in one day, whether it's just even handing out water at a rally, or um, starting your own movement with your teammates, and you all show your support for Michael Brown in this situation, and the young black males in Ferguson and across the country who are public enemy number one when it comes to the police. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping that this strikes uh, it strikes many athletes, not just basketball players and football players, but everyone, that it strikes a nerve and gets them fired up. Because I believe this is a straw that's breaking the camel's back, and we should be able to make change. And I would like for them as players to be a part of the change as well. Now, other than that, we do have some things on here. Remember, this is the right, the wrong, and the random show, and we do have some things in here that did go right in America while I was away, and I'll briefly talk about that, and that is the hiring of a female assistant basketball coach. Becky Hammon is now an assistant basketball coach with the San Antonio Spurs. This is a great achievement for women. She's not the first to coach men on that level. We also had Stephanie Reddy, who did coach a development league team as well. So this is just another step forward for women's rights and equal consideration for us in many roles and jobs in which we are seen to be locked out of. I also want to highlight the WNBA. Everybody, if you have not seen a WNBA game, you have been missing out. It's been a great season. They are going into the playoffs very soon, next week. So go ahead, get on the horn, and get to a TV on ESPN or ABC. You are missing great basketball from many players and many teams, especially out of that Western Conference. The Phoenix Mercury and the Minnesota Lynx and the LA Sparks are playing outstanding, awesome basketball. I think that whoever wins out of the West will more than likely win the championship. Over on the East, you do have the Atlanta Dream and the Chicago Sky, led by Elena Delle Donne and Angel McCautry, with the Dream, who are still doing very well and very competitive teams. I say this all, you may think that it's just talking, 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 but viewership has gone up this year, so people are watching. Continue to watch, check it out. And if you are in a city that has a WNBA team, go see a game, especially if your team is in playoff contention, because I'm sorry, you're not going to get a seat or a very good seat, playoff seat, if you are watching the men's team. So go out and see a WNBA team play or watch it on TV. Great entertainment. Also, everybody, I want you to um, give kudos to another young lady. Her name is Monet Davis, and she has led her Philadelphia team, representing Philadelphia in the East. She's led them to the Little League World Series. She is a pitcher, and she can pitch a 70-mile-per-hour fastball and curveball, and that curveball is nasty. So follow, if you can, the Little League World Series and the team from Philadelphia, and see Monet Davis. See if she can break some barriers and help lead her team to the championship game in the Little League World Series. Now, everybody, that was short and sweet. There's a lot more going on down in Ferguson, and we all just want more action, and hoping that this protest and everything that we do is not done in vain. We know that justice will be served. So what I ask for you, everybody, what you can do, and especially young people, what you can do, the first thing that you can do if you have not done is to register to vote. We are in this situation right now because people did not register to vote. Ferguson City Police is controlled by a white majority, although there are more blacks living in the city of Ferguson than whites. Ferguson makes up 67% of black population, 33% white population. There's no reason that there should be more representation in the police department and on the city council, and as people running for mayor as well, that their voice, our voice, should be heard. But we have to do the first thing, and that is vote when it's time to vote. That means not just voting in November when it's time to vote for a president or a senator or a governor. We need to vote in April. We need to vote in the primaries in August. These are the times where the voting turnout is very low. And this is the time exactly when there were elections in which people passed up, whether it was a board election or a city council election or a measure to make changes that has to do with the city, important ordinances and changes in which no one came out to vote. So you have to register to vote and vote each and every time, not just on a presidential cycle, each and every time. Young people, I also encourage you and implore for you to join a group. Join a group that stands for action. Join a group that is going to make change. If you can't join a group or you don't know what to do, if you can start your own. Start your own group. Many of us who are older will be more than happy to help you on the back end of it. But if there's something that you want, get that initiative and go for it and do it. And one thing is, you have to join a group. whether it is the young leaders of the NAACP or Representative Butler's Young People's Group as well. You can follow him at MO Michael Butler on Twitter to find out more information and how to join his group if you are in St. Louis, and to get more information about what's going on in Ferguson. So please follow him on Twitter at MO Michael Butler. Everybody, this is all I have for today. Not much, but I hope you learned a lot from our guests. And until next time, everybody, whether you pray or not, if you pray, please pray for us. If you don't pray, it's okay. Just send us positive vibes. And until then, keep hooping.